we're going to look at how you create a CTAG match for a full submission. We already have created a CTAG course that's suitable for a full submission. Now we're going to go into the match. Just as a reminder, anytime you have a match, you'll see your list of matches. You can hold the mouse above the status code to see what that means, and the code that you want is approved. You can still edit matches anytime the padlock is unlocked. I'm going to create a new CTAG match, and for tri-rotors, again, the start term, I need to enter there, and I'm going to match this with a specific CTAN. In this particular case, I'm going to take a look at a medical terminology match. So I scroll down here until I find medical terminology, and then I click Next. This is going to be associated with a course, and the course is going to be medical terminology. Remember, I created the course in a separate step. Creating the course is the first step in creating the match. I'm going to click Next. And now I'm going to view the learning outcomes for the course. If I want to double check to see what I entered on the course, I can click View Program Course Details. I'm going to do View Learning Outcomes, and the goal now is to complete each of these learning outcomes with detailed information about how the learning outcome is fulfilled in the course that I submitted. To make this easier, I should have a copy of the course syllabus and any other material that I think might help me as I go through to create this match. You really should think about creating the match as creating your argument to a review panel who is familiar with your technology to convince them that your course meets these learning outcomes. For each of the learning outcomes, I'm going to click Edit, and then I want to type in this particular case, how this course defines medical prefixes, suffixes, combining forms, word roots, and compound words. If I look at my syllabus, I might be able to get some information from that. For example, in week number 1, I have the structure of medical language, the body in health and disease, and so on. And one of the learning outcomes says specifically define medical prefixes, suffixes, combining words, and root forms. So now I can go back and say, see learning outcome 1, and then I could also say covered, something like covered throughout the course. Emphasized in emphasize. We should spell things right because the reviewers are going to be sensitive to that. In week 1, and then I could say something even like assessment completed each week. And then I could just really even say something like, this is a fundamental topic we discuss in each class, and really just give the reviewers some additional information about how you meet that particular learning outcome. In this case, too, you need to indicate how much time you spend on the topic. You can express this in terms of the number of periods, months, days, weeks, hours, or percentage. In this case, it might be appropriate to say that you spend 10% of the total course time on this topic because it's something you cover throughout. Once you have done this, and this isn't a complete example, but it'll give you an idea. Again, the mental image you want to have is that you are making your argument to a review team about how your course matches these learning outcomes. And you click Save, and then you keep going down through each one of these. I'll do one more here just to give you an idea. And now to describe how medical terms are constructed using word elements, and you want to provide a thorough description about how you do that in your course. The reviewers are going to have access to your course syllabus, and so they're going to look at that, but you want to give them a good roadmap into how this works. You do that for each of these learning outcomes. Again, don't forget to add in the percentages. You scroll down, you do that for each and every learning outcome. The other thing you should notice is once I have completed it, you see a check. This learning outcome is essential, has been completed. In this particular case, learning outcome is essential but has not been completed. Your goal is to have check marks in each and every one of these learning outcomes. When you're all done with this, you scroll, you'll be at the bottom, and then you click next. And then you can, if you want to save it and work on it later, you click Save as a Draft. If you want to save it and submit it to your institution coordinator, then you're going to click Save and Submit to Institutional Coordinator, and then click on Submit. And that is how you create a full, a match that requires a full submission, not just an affirmation document.